Ultimate Fighter 17, highest ranked Ultimate Fighter at that time. I was a coach, coaching against Jon Jones. And do you guys know Malky Kawa? He's a very big name in our industry. And I believe in large part has switched over in his NFL. But he is a master of his craft. He is just a fantastic manager, organizer, natural leader. Malky and Dana publicly did not get along. And it's very hard. It's like, how are you gonna manage and work within the UFC if the boss doesn't like you, if the boss won't take your calls? How are you getting things done? And Malky did. He got things done. So I'm doing the Ultimate Fighter. And Dana not liking Malky, like that relationship, Malky not liking Dana, this was public. This was very well known. And when I would get to the set of the Ultimate Fighter, which by the way took place on UFC property, when I got to that set every day, Malky was there. And somewhere it had come up, somewhere Dana had mentioned, oh man, that guy drives me crazy. Whatever he had said. I was just in the room and somebody asked Dana, hey, how come he's down here every day? I mean, this is literally the boss saying, I don't want that guy around. But it's on the boss's property where he could hit him with a trespass and the guy's gone. He could even just go up and say to him, get at him, he's the boss. Malky's not going to tell Dana no. Dana never did. And the question came up, why? And Dana answered the question. Why is he here? Because he's Jon Jones' manager. That was all that Dana said. But if you sit that down and you break that down, Malky's there. Malky doesn't get along with Dana. Dana didn't want him there. It's Dana's property. But Dana does want Jon. So Malky's not with Dana. Malky's with Jon. Jon's with Dana. And therefore, Malky gets to stay. Did you follow that logic? That's street logic right there. You're not going to get that logic in a Fortune 500 company. You're going to get that logic from a street kid. So here we are. All right. Now, it was very interesting because Malky had never done anything wrong. Malky was never dishonest or unethical or even rude. He was just tough. Malky was very tough. And so you do things and you'd have to redo them. You'd negotiate and then Malky, at times, he'd want to renegotiate. It would just slow things down. It's very important in this industry that things can move quickly, because even when things are moving quickly, they're moving slow. And when you will have these fighters that don't understand it, they're great fighters. They've done a great job. They're main event guys. You can actually make money with them, right? You got 700 plus guys under contract that are interchangeable mediocrities. You have 7 of those guys that can keep the lights on for everybody else. And even though you got 7 stars, you got 44 shows a year. 44 shows calls for 88 participants in a main event. You've only got 7 stars. So you could have an entire event where you got a main event, but you don't have any stars. But the main event could do well. And so then these guys, they want to renegotiate. They want to sit down and talk. I'll hear them say that. It's like, well, yeah. All you have to do in the day is get up and do a workout, go home, take a nap. You usually play some video games, monitor social media, go back and do a workout again. Then you return home, sit down on that same couch and play video games. Like, to sit down and talk or to have lunch or have a meeting or talk about talking and meet about meeting is probably no problem for you whatsoever. How do you think Dana's going to do it? He isn't going to just come to the gym, do work, go home and play video games, go back to it's not like that. His day is completely full. There's literally not enough time to sit down and talk. There would not be, if you were to put, for all the guys that want to talk, and they want to do it over lunch, and lunch is going to be an hour. Let's just make those numbers up. That would literally not be a possibility. There would not be. That would be 5 hours a week if we just go on a work week. That's 5 hours a week that Dana needs to find to then negotiate and talk about something that he's already got a deal signed for. It's one of these things where it can create a real frustration. And then you have these other ones that are just worth it. They just are. They're leaders. They go in the locker room and they set a good example. The Frankie Edgars of the world, if you will. The Volkanovskis of the Volkanovski sets a tremendous. Adesanya sets tremendous. Alex Pereira, maybe currently number one, just sets a tremendous example for everybody else, which is simply, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do when I said I was going to do it for the price that I said I was going to do it for. That's all Alex Pereira does. But he does it time and time again. And it comes with tremendous rewards. It comes with tremendous card placements. It comes with everything, including championships and a great big paycheck. You can just do those three things. Do what you said you're going to do. At the time you said you'd do it for the price that you said you'd do it for. But you don't have these very often. What I'm describing is like a Tom Brady, if you will. Somebody who, even if their arm isn't throwing what it once did, they're so valuable to the organization because of their attitude, because of their energy, because of the leadership that they can bring. You want them around. And when you have the exact opposite, and again, you got 700 athletes under contract, 7 of them keep the lights on for everybody. So when one of those 7 that are actually dependent on and counted on use that leverage and point the gun back at you, there's a big relief when they're gone. That's the truth. And you'll keep them there. You'll play the game. You'll let them violate their contracts, and you'll put you down in the media because you show a respect to the championship that they have in the industry that you created. And it all ties back to the very first scenario that I gave you. Though Dana and Malky would say terrible things about each other, Malky got to be there because Jon got to be there, and Jon said he's in. But it goes the other way too. When that opportunity comes, you do everything you can that's right to show a respect to our industry. Everything. You look the other way, you forgive, you help him, you cover him. Do whatever you have to do to respect a once-in-a-lifetime talent in the industry that you are the leader of. You do that, but when they're gone, there's a relief. And when you sigh that breath of relief at whatever it is in life, as hard as you worked to preserve that and keep that around, once you sigh that breath of relief that they're gone, you're glad. You're glad there's gone. And there's not a time where you bring that back.